Hello everyone, welcome to Pick Up Play. Just a quick video to start this video off. That's a weird way of wording that. This is capturing light guns, and as such, if you are old enough to remember how light guns worked, there is an awful lot of flashing on the screen. This video contains so much flashing. Don't watch it if you're light sensitive. It may get particularly annoying on some bits, so I might try and pick bits that aren't as heavy with it, but there is going to be, all the footage is going to have flashing on it, so just bear that in mind. Hope you enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome to Pick Up Play. So I've been wanting to do something for quite a while, that I always wondered if it was possible. Like, can you capture, virtual cop behind me, can you capture footage of a light gun game? Is there a way to do it? And the obvious sort of thing you could do is that, is it Shinra or something like that? The PC light gun and then emulate, right? I think that's quite expensive. Then I have to mess around with emulating and stuff. So I've got a bunch of games behind me. Oh Jesus Christ, that's more complicated. Why didn't I just think, look at my thumb rather than the camera? That makes it easier. Right. Bunch of games, Saturn games are there, sort of down this bit here. You can just see a 4MB cart near my bicep, next to Ken, to the side of Ken. It's I started to think about it. I've been thinking about it for a while, and if you watched my Dreamcast video where I worked out how to capture, I've got a completely blanked my name. My graphics card now is HDS or something like that. It's fuck, I forget. Anyway, basically I did a Dreamcast video because I couldn't capture from the Dreamcast, and so what I bought was this Scart. It was an upscaler, or a Scart to HDMI converter, but it upscaled the signal, and then that forced it into a HD signal, and you could force a widescreen signal from that. That meant that the capture card, Elgato HD60S, that's the name of it, that doesn't like lower than 720p, and if it could be 720p in terms of like one side, but if it's squash 4:3 resolution, then it doesn't work. So there I worked out how to do that by just upscaling it to a 1080p image, particularly if I then forced it, but it meant I could capture certain games on the Dreamcast don't work from essentially the VGA source, but they work from RF and they work from SCART, which obviously in the UK, Europe, we have had. So that's what that converted. As a little bonus, it converted. It could do HDMI to HDMI, so it sort of worked as a pass-through and upscaled. I can't think of a single time that would be needed, but whatever. And yeah, but it did SCART. It's a little, you probably find them on sort of Temu or whatever, AliExpress. I got mine from Amazon, but it's the same thing. It then got me wondering, could I use that to capture a light gun game while using a light gun? Because obviously the issue, you can't, on a monitor that I'm using in front of me now, or modern television, you can't use light guns. It doesn't work the way the technology works. I used to understand it, I don't anymore, but essentially it needs a CRT, which, again, there we go, Virtua Cop 2. I just moved my head in front of the title screen as it popped up. There we go. So I've had for years, I'm going to show pictures of some of the sort of components I've used for this. It involves a few boxes, some cables I had to buy, but it does work. The spoilers with videos, it works. I also want to show you, I have used the real copies of the game. We got House of the Dead 2, we got, Virtua Cop 2, House of the Dead, and Virtua Cop 1. Now I also want to use this for some Dreamcast stuff, but I haven't tested the Dreamcast stuff today, so that reason why it won't work, to be honest. But so House of the Dead in particular is not a game that's been brought out again, really. Like, there's a PC version, which I have somewhere, I think. There's not a lot of other options for it. There's the remake, which I think is all right. It's just the control method for that is none of them are particularly good, I don't think. I mean, none of them are what you want. Like the Wii, sorry, the Wii. I fucking wish it was a Wii game. That would have actually worked. But the Switch dongle sort of for pointing controls is nah, it just loses tracking all the time. Which is a shame, because otherwise that would have worked. It would have been better with the sort of camera option, I suspect. I don't know. They would know better than me. A VR option would have been great. I don't know if there is one, but the Move controllers for the PlayStation, maybe. Anyways, it's not a bad little port. It's cheap, or remake, I suppose. It's fairly cheap. I think PC with the mouse it's a piece of piss. You can tear through that game, but it's not bad. So yeah, again, Virtual Cop. There's not been loads of ports of it. So what I used is and this is a particularly European solution. I apologise to any Americans watching. You could probably do it from S-Video. There's probably a way to... sorry, not S-Video. Composite. There's probably a way to do it composite. So, I've got it's a very old thing that I've had for years. It's when I used to use TVs that had SCART sockets all the time. So when I was a teenager sort of thing. So it's a multi-SCART adapter. It's a switcher, basically like a HDMI switcher, but for SCART sockets. So you put one in, and then you tell it which output it's going to go to, and there's a sort of monitor that goes out. Could I split that monitor cable, or monitor signal, I suppose, to go into two sources? The TV, and then something for the TV, and then something for the capture box down there. Yeah, you can buy SCART splitters. So you see a picture now. It's just a nice thick SCART cable with three things. So it's one that is essentially the what we can use as the monitor for it, as in it's the source, and it splits from there. One goes into the back of the television, so I can use the light gun. One goes into the capture box. Well, sorry, into the adapter. So that you also see the picture of. I think what I've got is this picture is the. There's a picture of the. So from the SCART splitter, one end goes into the television, one end goes into, and I'll put a picture of it now next to the SCART switcher. You can see the upscaler, which is you've got a SCART socket next to a HDMI socket. It does require power. There's then an HDMI output on the other side of that box. All is this little square box. But you can then choose what sort of settings you pick, and you can set it to 720p. You can set it to 1080p. You can set it in between sort of odd resolutions that then the capture kit just breaks. But whatever. Yeah. So just to prove it works, here's footage of me calibrating House of the Dead. There's also footage of me calibrating Virtual Cop, which was actually already sort of felt kind of calibrated. And then for some reason, they just messed with the calibration technique for Virtual Cop 2. They just altered some of the settings or how the settings work. But yeah, so here's just some footage of whilst I'm talking over it. Some observation. So House of the Dead, I used to play all the time. I got a Saturn fairly late. I got Saturn when Sonic R and Quake came out on it, which was right towards the end. I think it maybe had like a year and 3 weeks left after that. I don't think I had much. I remember I got the Saturn for Christmas with a bunch of games. Actually, my favourite Christmas. It was actually my favourite Boxing Day. Was I didn't get Quake and House of the Dead or Quake and Sonic R. I got it was like a Sega Ages box set, I think. It had Sonic Jam. I had Sonic Jam on it, which I wish I still had. I don't have anymore. Sega Rally, Manx TT, I forget what else. Just had this like bunch of games, and my family all went to see extended family, and I stayed home and just watched football all day. And then in between the football, just played on the Saturn on the big telly because I didn't have a Scart input, and the Saturn only came with a Scart cable, and so we had to go and buy an RS lead, and then I pretty soon after I got a better telly. I felt like a hand-me-down sort of thing. Unnecessary information, but it meant I used to play eventually. I got House of the Dead, and I associate it with. Oh no, I don't know what I've been listening to at the time. I remember listening to Filter a lot, but I think it was for House of the Dead too. But we used to play it all the time. It's a great game, really good game. We used to rent Virtua Cop with the Lightgun. Couldn't really afford. I think I did eventually get Virtua Cop, but anyway, yeah. So one of those games that I wish I'd kept. I wish I kept my my original Sega Saturn because I had a lot of rare games, and by the nature I had, Panzer Dragoon Saga and House of the Dead, all sort of European versions. Burning Rangers, European. I forget what else. Not important, but oh well. Live and learn. Shining Force. I had Shining Force on it. Off. Yeah. So my memory of House of the Dead. There's a bunch of like mid-level loading screens that I do not remember, and you get hit out of these loading screens. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. I don't remember. I feel like that would have stuck with me. So I don't know if that's a difference between the Japanese and the European version, and potentially the US. It sounds like they may have got a little extra work, but the Japanese version was particularly rushed, and the I don't know if the Western release has got a bit of extra. I don't know if the PAL version got any extra work, but maybe. But annoyingly, the Japanese version doesn't have red blood. Yeah, so I don't know what the other differences are, but still fun. My arm was killing me after this, so great game. Still enjoyable. Looks absolutely fucking dreadful. But I didn't mind at the time. I don't particularly mind now, to be perfectly honest. So going from that to House of the Dead, again, great. It feels really easy and very sort of. I I have put it on easy. I will admit to that. But Virtua Cop, I might have said House of the Dead just, but Virtua Cop, easier, slower, a bit more precise. But it's good fun. I like Virtua Cop. I've always liked Virtua Cop, and yeah, it's a very different game. And then Virtua Cop 2, playing that, that definitely sort of ramps up a bit and feels more like you can see how that was competing with Time Crisis, for example. They're more kinetic games, I think. Time Crisis definitely, and Virtua Cop 2 starts to get there, I think. So yeah, like it works. This works. Like it's good fun. It works well. The issue I've got in terms of I tend to play and talk at the same time when I'm doing these videos. I'm not very good at. I used to write. No, well, every now and then I used to. When I used to review games, I used to write a script for the videos, but I just it didn't sound natural. So I ended up just having sort of bullet points that I'd try and hit, and particularly if I'd written the review at that point, it was a little easier to just like I'm picking a section that shows what I want to talk about in the review, or things I want to comment on. I know I can get those bits from this area, so and have a save for that, or I'd pick a level that showed it off, and I'd make a point of showing the things I wanted to talk about. And yeah, like that. It's like fun, but like when you're then streaming, which I don't do a huge amount of, but this seems like a good thing to stream. It's an unusual thing to do. But I have one of these microphones, and try to put it down without banging it. There we go. Okay, hold on. I need a microphone arm, stuff like that, and I'd feel like a prick. One of them sort of coming out, maybe sort of like I'd have to run it towards my that cabinet's full of DS games, 3DS games, and yeah, that's sort of where I'm standing to shoot inside the screen. Yeah, so I don't know. it'll be an interesting sort of experiment. But yeah, it does mean getting a microphone to work is maybe a little different. Now I've just thought, what if I just bought a lapel microphone or something like that? What if I went like that? Is that how I should live? Oh, it's tempting, isn't it? I don't know if they're any good or not. But yeah. So I've managed to capture with a Lightgun, and I'm really pleased about it. It's useful for about 8 games I own. Do I own that many games that do it? I've got 3 on the Saturn. Plus I did 2 on the Dreamcast. Death Crimson. I've got that. The XOX. I forget. Confidential Mission. I think that's it. I don't think I have a Virtua Cop 2 on the Dreamcast, which, yeah. So I don't know. I don't think there's much else I could get. I guess I could pick up like Point Blank and some stuff like that for the PlayStation. Again, perfectly doable to work. I've got a SCART lead for the PlayStation. Seems like absolutely no reason for it not to work. Somewhere hidden away in my parents' attic, there should be a Lightgun that works on the PlayStation and the Saturn. I don't know where it's gone, but it should work. There should be another Dreamcast one. There's another fucking 2 Dreamcast ones up there that have gone. So yeah, hopefully this was useful or in some way interesting. I don't know, but the Capturing Dreamcast video, I'll put a link in, and I will put it as like a suggested video just in case it's more useful. But yeah, this seems like I'm pleased with this. I could hopefully do some videos with this over the next year or so. Also, above this shoulder here, ooh, there we go, up a bit more. This, you see it? That is a twin stick for Virtua On, and I bought Virtua On last week, so I'm going to practice with that, and then maybe that's the next thing I do, is a stupid video of just like I'm going to stream playing with the twin stick. That is it. Not got a lot of space on this desk for twin sticking, but yeah, we'll give it a go, I think. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully this was interesting enough. If not, there's other videos on the channel. Then I won't bore you with what's coming next time. There's one I need to finish, but this will probably beat it out because this is more interesting, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon.